First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
An ODU student robbed at gunpoint on the Norfolk campus. What the suspect stole that has some of the school wondering what's next. And Chopper 10 takes you high above Hurricane Irene's aftermath on North Carolina's Outer Banks. Andy Fox talked to residents on the ground. We'll show you the damage. Plus, don't let disaster strike twice. We're on your side with the warning so you don't get ripped off when you go to repair Irene's damage.
And the ODU campus is on alert tonight.
Police say a student was robbed at gunpoint just after midnight on Elkhorn Avenue. 10 on your side's Ann McNamara is live on the Norfolk campus tonight where she talked to students about their crime concerns. Ann?
Nicole, it happened right here on campus at 49th and Elkhorn, and it happened. Gunmen took something that we all wear every time we go outside, having students wonder what's next. First day of classes, first university alert.
I got a text message to my phone about it.
I guess it was people armed in a green Explorer.
I know it was a male that got robbed.
Just after midnight, a student walking to his dormitory held at gunpoint. But it's what he had to give to get away that has other students worried.
I mean, if they want your shoes, they probably would want something else.
Lucky this time, the shoes were enough.
What we're experiencing is trending across the country on college campuses.
Old Dominion University police were already patrolling the area.
As far as the crime rate, it seems to be increasing, even though there's been more cops around.
The university says some responsibility falls on the students to walk in groups in well-lit areas. But some say that's just not possible.
I'm new, so I don't really know nobody except for a couple people around here, so I'm always walking alone.
It's crazy that it happened the first night.
An ODU spokesperson tells 10 on your side they've actually spent $2 million extra in security, both on police enforcement and on lighting this year, and they say they will continue to do more. They say they had a meeting as late as this morning, rather, and tonight you can bet there will be more police right here at this intersection where it happened. Reporting live at ODU, I'm Ann McNamara, 10 on your side.
Oh, Hampton police say they know who shot and killed a young man. Now they have to find 23-year-old Marcus Wingate. Detectives say he shot 22-year-old Richard Reddick Jr. this morning outside Langley Square Apartments on Doolittle Road. Investigators say both men were in some kind of argument before the shooting. Mary Banks says she heard it all.
Then all of a sudden I heard her scream like, no, 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 no. There's a boom, like that, like somebody had hit, something like hit or something. So I jumped up, threw my clothes on, and went and came out here. And I didn't see anything. Also, I saw police coming.
Now, Reddick was an airman based in South Dakota. If you can help detectives find Marcus Wingate, call police.
Our coverage of Hurricane Irene's aftermath continues. In Hurricane Irene's aftermath, North Carolina emergency coordinators say Hatteras and Ocracoke Islands will remain closed to tourists over the Labor Day weekend. Chopper 10 flew over Hatteras this afternoon. Take a look at the damage here. Hatteras remains cut off from the mainland after Irene carved 4 breaches into Highway 12.
If you're here locally, you understand the destruction, you understand the disruption in people's lives, and we're doing everything we can to try to help people get back.
10 on your side's Andy Fox is live on Colington Island tonight to show us the damage and cleanup in that area of the Outer Banks. Andy, how bad is it there?
Oh, it's bad, Nicole, and there are FEMA teams all over Dare and Currituck counties. A FEMA team needs to come here to Colington Harbor. There's a lot of damage here. The surging sound came up here and just flooded everything. Over here, a house owned by a Newport News family. Take a look at that. That was no match for what Irene had to give her. Surging sound came up here and just, well, basically took it away. That's what's going on here. And up in Currituck County, we found a single woman who's crying out for help. In Owens Beach, houses are hidden, dark and deep. A sign seeks help. Inside, Chris Mank. She needs help, and she's tired.
I stop on a regular basis, about once an hour, once every hour and a half, and I cry and let it all out and wipe my tears and go back and fill up another bag full of garbage.
Her home with a view became a home to the sound. Everything on the first floor gone.
Things I've lost, family photos, pieces of furniture from my mother gave me, and I'll never have them back. So they're like pieces of my life that are gone forever.
She's living in a camper that has the help sign on it.
got a dry bed to sleep in.
Steve Culpepper, the Good Samaritan, answered the plea for help. And then word came, a church was coming to help too.
A pastor just called my neighbor, and a team of volunteers is coming from Rocky Mount on Friday to help us. Yay!
You know who also needs help? Residents here in Colington Harbor, Kill Devil Hills, 12-foot storm surge. Mike Russell was here.
The amount of wave activity that we had, you begin to question whether or not the pilings were deep enough in these homes, how the construction was built. I didn't see it happen. Could this house fall over? The house behind us is a perfect example. Yeah, it could fall over.
Yeah, it could fall over. And right behind the tree, squatting down there, there he is, the Good Samaritan, the neighbor helping neighbor, Mike Russell. That's the story out here in Colington Harbor. Let me just show you this, Nicole. When you drive up and down the street, you see this all over the place. People's belongings out in the front yard. It's in almost every single home here in Colington Harbor. And you see debris just piled up on the streets as you drive by. Coming up tonight on WAVY News 10 at 6, we take you to Colington Harbor and we show you what they're dealing with. And they're crying out for help too. Those FEMA teams are around here in Currituck and Dare counties. They need to stop by here. I'm Andy Fox. Guys, back to you.
All right, Andy, thank you. Kerala Ocean Rescue posted red flags on the beaches because of Hurricane Irene debris washing up in the surf. The water is not safe and you are not allowed to go in it. Anyone walking on the beach should watch out for debris.
They left ahead of a hurricane, but nearly 30 ships and subs are coming back to Norfolk after the storm. The USS Dwight D. Eisenhower was the first in at Naval Station Norfolk this morning. Then your side's Melanie Woodrow was there for the return of these ships from the U.S. Second Fleet.
For the last 6 days, the pier at Naval Station Norfolk has been empty. Nearly 30 ships got underway in just 2.5 hours ahead of Hurricane Irene. The U.S. Second Fleet departure was somewhat unexpected and rushed.
There's always mixed feelings when you have to go to sea in a storm.
Command Master Chief Greg Snaza was one of several hundred sailors who had to leave his family during an uncertain time as Hurricane Irene came barreling towards Hampton roads.
We all would prefer to be home with our families, make sure that everything is safe and sound. But when the Navy calls and our ship needs to get out of harm's way, we've got to protect these capital assets, and that means taking them to sea.
This storm met all the criteria for sortie. Certainly what was experienced here in the Hampton roads with the surge of between 5 to 7 feet, winds in excess of 50 knots, it certainly was the right decision.
The ships and submarines were positioned to best avoid the threat to them, the piers, and support equipment. Several ships were also positioned to provide assistance to civil authorities if they were called on during the storm's aftermath.
We have an incredible meteorological staff that keep us up to date on everything that's going on.
Meantime, another 28 ships were placed in safe havens.
I think the tensest moment is when the storm hits and Hampton Roads loses power and we don't have comms with our families, and then you wait. And then the reports start coming in. And in the case of Irene, we were very fortunate, and the reports came back and it wasn't as bad as kind of everybody thought.
Today's homecoming was different than most. Only a few families waited pierside, but their sacrifice year-round was not lost on these sailors.
We rely more heavily on them, I think, than they rely on us.
More than 24 ships safe from the storm, with crews ready to spring into action to keep Hampton Roads residents safe. The remaining ships will return over the course of the week, including some of those ships that were moved to safe havens. Reporting at Naval Station Norfolk, Melanie Woodrow, 10 on your side.
Dominion says it has restored electricity to more than 75% of its customers that lost power during Irene. That's more than 920,000 homes and businesses. Here's a look at where the outages are now. Dominion says nearly all customers should have their power back on by Saturday night. Community Electric says this afternoon about 495 customers still didn't have their electricity. Crews hope to have everyone's power back on by Friday.
Well, this 10-time saver traffic alert is all about your timing. I-64 at the high-rise bridge is closing for about 30 minutes tonight. VDOT says crews will lift the bridge at 7:30. It's to test the mechanisms following power loss during Irene. Drivers should use the I-264 downtown tunnel or the Gilmerton Bridge on Military Highway as alternates.
The beach looks busy now, but will it be busy come Labor Day weekend after Hurricane Irene?
When it's time to make repairs from Hurricane Irene's aftermath, we're on your side to make sure you don't get scammed. tell you what to watch out for.
Hazmat crews are called to a U.S. Air Force base. We'll tell you why several people were decontaminated or got sick.
And Tropical Storm Katia is still out there. We're going to have the 5 p.m. update from the Hurricane Center on that. Poses no threat to us. We'll tell you all about that and much more with our forecast.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Libus, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
There's a huge wildfire burning in North Texas. Strong winds, low moisture, and triple-digit temperatures are fueling the flames in Possum Kingdom. The fire burning across 7,500 acres has already destroyed 24 homes. Crews are working around the clock battling the flames. 2 firefighters were already hurt. A wildfire in this same area several months ago destroyed more than 150 homes. Firefighters say lightning likely sparked this wildfire in Arizona. A wall of fire is burning about 1,000 acres across the Superior Mountains. Right now, no homes are threatened.
3 people wound up in the hospital at an Air Force base in Illinois. Someone spotted a suspicious package at Scott Air Force Base. 3 people went to the hospital. They were treated for rashes. More than a dozen others were decontaminated on site. Now, crews evacuated nearby buildings and hazmat specialists are inspecting that package.
The storm is long gone all along the East Coast, but the aftermath remains.
We'll show you what it looks like to the north of Hampton Roads.
The hurricane is long gone, but property owners in Sandbridge and across Hampton Roads need to be on guard. I'm Mark Kahn. I'll have that story for you coming up.
And FedEx says flooding from Irene is causing trouble. The dangerous road conditions and power outages, well, that's hampering the ability of drivers to pick up and deliver packages. FedEx says the issues along the East Coast may cause a backlog in other parts of the country. The shipping company recommends you check with them to see if they are delivering to a particular area. That package may be a little bit late. Once again, thanks to Irene.
Yeah, yep. So the recovery continues.
That's right.
Yes, it does. And
we've recovered weather-wise.
Yeah, we've certainly recovered weather-wise. I got a little tiny bit of tidal flooding that we'll show you going on. And it's not even minor tidal flooding, but we're all a little nervous yet. Franklin, you're doing fine. The river's cresting right now, and it's going to start to go down. It's as high as it's going to get. Also, Seabrill, the Nottoway River, it's not even going to move to flood stage. So we're looking real good there. We'll have more on that flooding coming up at 5:30. I want to show you what's going on. The latest on the tropical storm. It is a good, strong tropical storm, almost a hurricane. I think by the 11 p.m. update, it'll likely become a hurricane. It's obviously way out in the middle of some very warm water. 70-mile-an-hour winds moving to the west-northwest at 17 miles an hour. And there's where it is on this coming Monday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Major hurricane, 120-mile-an-hour winds. It is very likely, but you'll notice that it's well to the north of Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, Cuba. And where's it going? Well, really virtually all the computer models take it well on offshore, and there's one computer model now that does take it a little closer, but again, the rest of them take it all on off. So again, we're looking pretty good with this. Those computer models are, a week away at least. So again, they can be a little bit wrong, but that far in advance, but really, they're all taking it offshore, so I think we're looking good on that. Now, here's the reason we're getting a little tiny bit of tidal flooding. It's not because of Irene. It's long gone. It's very long gone. A little low pressure area out to sea was kicking in with a persistent east to northeasterly breeze. Very light breeze, but it's been here for a couple of days, so it's popping the tide up just very slightly, and we'll continue to see a north to easterly breeze through tomorrow. Then we'll kind of flip around for the day coming up on Friday. Friday we'll see some more cloud cover, so we've got a change moving in for Friday. Rain? Not real likely with that. There's where things are by 7 o'clock in the evening on Friday, back to more of an east-southeasterly breeze at 10 to 15 miles an hour. So we're going to see a little more cloud cover move in for Friday. But otherwise, we're going to warm up. We're going to warm up a few degrees coming up for tomorrow. Once again, today the high, 78 degrees in Norfolk. It's been that way now, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Look at our low, though. Last night, 65 degrees. Very comfortable for this time of year. Upper 70s right now into the area, some 80-degree readings into some inland areas. So again, we've got basically upper 70s and low 80s into the region, throughout the region right now. And there are lows last night. I've added a few of them, basically to the upper 50s up to about the mid 60s, upper 60s, close to the Manteo area. So we want to see what's going to go on overnight. 57, 60, 66 degrees toward Nag's Head. Some people without power or without AC right now. If you got your got crawl space flooded, you got no AC. 57 to around 64 for the south side. For the peninsula, 57 to 64. And the middle peninsula, northern neck, eastern shore, a light east and northeasterly wind, around upper 50s. And for tomorrow, we'll likely see highs into the low to mid 80s. Low 80s near the coastline, mid 80s farther inland. A little afternoon cloud cover moving on in. A lot more coming up on Friday. But the rain holds off, and really it's not that big a chance of rain. And that'll be coming up on Monday. Labor Day will warm up into the weekend at the mid to upper 80s.
It was a wild ride in the air for an Arkansas man. Find out what he saw happened at his house that had him call 911.
And preparing ahead pays off for people in Possum. New at 5:30, 10 on your side asks neighbors how Hurricane Isabel taught them some valuable lessons for Irene.
An Arkansas man caught quite a sight the first time he ever went up in an airplane. He saw two men robbing his house. From up in the air, he noticed the men loading up air conditioners and other scrap metal items onto a trailer. He immediately called 911, but by the time deputies arrived, the crooks had taken off. Fortunately, the homeowner was still tracking them from the air.
It was wild. Probably one of the wildest things I ever experienced, you know, seeing somebody rob my house and the whole chase. I mean, it's like being on cops.
I know that's right. He tracked the suspects for 2 miles. Deputies arrested them a short time later. Both are charged with burglary and theft.
It's not a steal. Are you driving something criminals don't like? We'll have the top 10 next.
Hurricane Irene unearthed a message in a bottle in Hampton Roads. Still ahead at 5:30. How long that letter was lost and who wrote it.
They haven't? Oh, yes, Matt? Can he? I have no feedback in my ear. Okay, we're good. We're good. Oh, okay. It's a little windy. I've got the lav on. Is that okay? Okay.
Flip it to the inside of your shirt and not the jacket. And put the jacket over it.
Is that okay?
It might work better.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, check, 1, 2, 3.
Want to pass this along to you. The number, once again, for the National Insurance Crime Bureau's hotline, toll-free 1-800-TEL NICB. That's 1-800-835-6422. While we're talking about crimes, these are not the hottest cars. Keyword is not. Think of vehicles that thieves avoid. They don't want to steal them. Here's the top 10. According to the Highway Loss Data Institute, the Audi A6 all-wheel drive, the Mercury Mariner, Chevrolet Equinox, the Volkswagen CC, Chevrolet Equinox four-wheel drive, the Lexus RX 350, the Saturn Vue, the Chevrolet Aveo, the BMW 5 Series all-wheel drive, and the two-door Mini Cooper Clubman. Now, all of these vehicles, we are told, apparently have good anti-theft mechanisms. Well, it's the crime of opportunity when you want to steal a car. The ones that have the best systems to keep you from doing that, they avoid. Stay with us, though, because WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.